Hello and welcome to the shed. In today's video I wanted to show you a couple of jigs or modifications that we can do to the shooting board to make it more useful. I hope you enjoy. The very first thing I wanted to show you here is not really a modification, but it's using a combination square and how we can use that if you've just got a couple of little miters that you want to use the shooting board on and you haven't done any modifications to it. In a pinch you can actually use your combination square to actually do the shooting. So let's jump in here and I'll show you how I do this. So the very first thing you want to do is go ahead and take the headstock off. This is what we're going to use. So with this you can bring it in here, and you obviously want to be careful that this edge here doesn't get close to the blade. So you want to sit it back a little bit so when your miter comes in it's going to sit the edge and this sits back slightly. Now you can actually clamp this in place if you want to. So if you have a hold fast like I do here, you can move it across and find a spot where you can just lightly tap it on. Now you don't want to put too much pressure on this because you could snap something like this, but this is just like a little bit of extra holding. So you can add a hold fast here, one little tap, not putting much pressure on it. Sits there, so then you can come in with your shooting plane, bring your board in, and although it might rock, if you've got it out a little bit, as soon as you push in and you start using your shooting board on there, it actually pushes the whole lot up against your fence and locks in a perfect 45 degrees. I've got an upcoming project with the cupboard door on here where we're going to be using mitered half laps, and so you'll see a few videos coming up where I'm going to be using the shooting board. So I thought, let's make a little jig that's really quick and easy to put on and off of our shooting board that we can use for doing miters. And what I came up with is different from what I see most people do. So what we're going to do here, bring the headstock up, bring this piece of pine up, because that piece that you just saw me shooting, we're going to actually use that as our reference fencing for shooting additional half laps or miters. So we can bring this in here, reference further back. We push this up against our plane face here, so we know it's sitting in the right spot. Then come along. Now you can pre-drill this if you need to. I'm not going to here, and we're just going to punch one screw in there, just ensuring that this is, so we know that we've got it right. Then we're going to come down the far end here, put a second screw in. Now, if we move everything out of the way, that's not going anywhere, but with a quick undo of the screws we can remove it. There are a couple of other ways that we can check 45 to ensure that this sits at 45, and sometimes the way I had it there was maybe not the most accurate. So what we can do is we'll bring our sliding bevel onto here, lock it up slightly, and then we're going to reference it on here. And we can fully lock that down, and now we can use this on here as a different referencing, and I can see that it has moved the angle slightly off what we had. So we'll bring our shooting plane back in here. So that's just cleared that back out, but ultimately this angle here doesn't matter, it's this angle that we want for our referencing. So when we bring this in, and now when we put that on here, you can see we've got a nice tight 45. Now you might say, well, what if we've got a 45 going the other way? Well, that is just as easy to do, and that's the beauty of this. This is the jig piece we just had on there, so I've taken it back off, and now I'm going to bring it in the other way, and we're going to get our sliding bevel in here to sit where we want it to. Problem is we're hitting the fence just up here as well, so we've got to just clear that fence. So we're going to line that bevel up, sliding bevel up, and once we've got it where we want it, I'm just going to pre-start the screw in that same hole, or you could do another one. And I'm just going to put some pressure down on that. Screw that in, double check that this is correct. Once again, we're actually going to hand plane a 45 on here. And you can see we're starting to put a 45 on there. You can obviously cut this piece off so it doesn't sit out too far, and you can just keep flipping it back and forwards for when you need it, and it's really quick and easy. And all you've done is added a couple of little holes into the surface of your shooting board. Now, one thing you do want to do, because if you're going to be putting pieces on here, when you put the screws in like that, it does raise them. So you want to bring a little bit of sandpaper in, or bring just a chisel in and just flatten off those openings where those screws went. Now those holes aren't going to cause a problem for marring the work. Now there's one other upgrade that I like to do with the shooting board, along with being able to just shoot those miters in a couple of different ways, and that is adding a fence to your shooting board. Now it's not the fence that we push our work up against, it's a fence that stops our shooting plane, whether it's one of these, from actually twisting. So let me bring it in here and I'll show you what I've done for my Veritas shooting plane, but I can also show you how we can do it for a low angle like this Lubin one that I recently got, which you'll see a review on soon. So for this one, you can see that I have this fence here. It's just a thin piece of material that's not impeding the operation, and you can see with this one, it just allows me to effortlessly move it back and forwards. Now, the reason I came up with this, and you don't see it on many, you've got to require to actually force it in against what you're planing, and so with this, it removes that need for you to actually have to put that sideways movement into it. And what I found before I added that, adding that sideways movement could add discrepancies into what I was shooting square. And so that was when I decided to add the fence, knowing that with the Veritas plane you can actually buy little fence tracks that they run in so they don't cant. And so I thought you can actually use that method with any of the hand planes. So I came ahead and just put a little fence here, and it can't cant now. Obviously you can lift it like this, but when you're actually going back and forwards, it can't actually cant. So it's always going to be going square, and it's always pushed up tight against your fence and your reference block. Similarly, if you had one of these hand planes in here, obviously if you look in the back here, I've got this extra gap here, because this is obviously not designed for this particular hand plane, but for whatever hand plane, you'll actually bring it up so it references against the highest point on the wing here, and then you'll be able to guide back and forward effortlessly without it moving. And it should mean that you're less likely, at least with one of these, to actually twist side to side, because it's got a small referencing. And the other thing that you could do is, if you've got a standard bevel up Bailey like this, on the top of the round part of the wing there, you'd do the same. You'd bring it up against that, and then you can just effortlessly move it back and forwards. And I think that's vital for accuracy on your shooting board. But what this was really about was the miters for an upcoming project, and I just wanted to show you these couple of really quick makeshift ways that we can solve that problem, and now we can get nice clean miters straight off the shooting board. So there you have it, folks. That's my quick way of making the shooting board more useful, particularly for the miter. What I didn't cover here was obviously a miter in a box frame. It's only for flat frames, and we might look at doing something like a donkey ears shooting board, which is what you really require for that. In the future, if it's something you would like to see, I can look into maybe creating a donkey ear shooting board, and we'll see how we can go about doing that. So if you like this video, please do like and subscribe down below. While you're down there, please do sound off in the comments. Have you done modifications for miters on your shooting board? Have you ever used the headstock of your square to shoot a few small pieces? And as I showed you there, it works pretty effectively in my opinion. So if you want to see another video such as this, please do check the video up here where I show you how to do a stopped dado using just basic hand tools. Bye for now.